Yo, thanks for tuning in to the 14th episode of J Talks Crypto. And in this episode, I'm actually going to be doing a super quick follow up to my previous video, Bitcoin, the USB of money. Essentially, in the terrible analogy, I forgot to explain why the terrible analogy was a terrible analogy. And that's actually the most important part in actually understanding what it is. I actually wrote this in the description of the last video, and I was going to leave it as is, but as I was writing it, I was like, hey, just record it because I feel like it's actually pretty good. So make sure you watch the last video in order to give this video some proper context. Um, uh, I'm just gonna. All right, whatever. In this video, I essentially talk about universal serial bus technology, and how it helps us better understand Bitcoin. A lot of time, Bitcoiners compare Bitcoin to the TCP/IP layer of the internet, but I think it's more useful to compare it to the evolution of USB or universal serial bus technology. And this analogy fails because Bitcoin isn't a piece of hardware like a USB. Physically, a USB standard is really easy to keep because all you need to do is keep the plug in the same shape, use similar wires, or have some sort of adapter made. For Bitcoin, it's a lot harder because Bitcoin isn't physical in the sense where you can make a metal mold and make it fit. Uh, with Bitcoin, one can say it is physical because what you're doing when you run a node is that you're kind of downloading like a 3D model of the USB shape that's enforcing the standard, that's enforcing the shape, which is the standard on the Bitcoin network. So essentially, think of it like a USB 1.0, USB 2.0, USB 3.0. They each have certain components within them that allow it to function at the certain speed that it does. And you can think of a soft fork in a similar way, or different versions of nodes. Like, if you have a very, very old node, that's kind of like USB 1.0. And if you have like USB 2.0, that's like SegWit in which is a USB which is a UASF, user activated soft fork, that happened with BIP 148. So this is kind of like where you really see the importance of why Bitcoin development is just so slow, because it's not like a piece of metal where you can easily make a metal mold. Uh, the rules are essentially just enforced by people running the exact same code. Like, it's like you and me going to Umbrel, going to FutureBit, going to whatever node provider that we want, and essentially running that. Or going straight up, going to bitcoin.org and using the standard Bitcoin core. Um, And because the rules are essentially enforced by people running the same code, every change that needs to happen through very carefully peer reviewed code to mitigate the risk of chain splits, removing backwards compatibility, invalidating previous transactions. To think of it in like USB terms, it would be like making a new USB device that just completely invalidated all of the other versions before it, and you would not even be able to use like some sort of adapter. It's just like coming up with a completely new plug, and that's why that's why this is important, because the Bitcoin blockchain is like what these nerds call immutable, which means it can't be changed, it can't be stopped, or and it can't be muted. Once something is etched into the blockchain, it's going to be there forever, and the work to undo that transaction is almost unfathomable. So I hope by using this USB example, it can help give you a certain kind of mental framework to try to understand what's going on a little bit more. Obviously, I explained this in extremely beginning terms, but um, sometimes I feel that using these analogies is and kind of like using like these normal words is better to kind of like wrap your head around what's going on, and so you can do your own supplemental research so you can learn about the topic more if you want to. Anyway, this is J Talks Crypto. Please like, comment, subscribe. You guys know I hate asking. Check out 10millionsatoshis.com. Got a new press and merch for you guys. Whole bunch of different colors. And it's going to be available on the Lightning Network. A part of this project is to encourage people that already like Bitcoin to take another step, go a little bit deeper, and actually look in and start experimenting. People are over here and they're working really hard and they're building on this stuff, and a lot of times we just ignore it. And sometimes you might get into thinking that like, hey, Bitcoin is just boring, but it's not. Bitcoin is doing a lot, and there's a lot of developers, and they're dedicating their lives, and they're dedicating a lot of their efforts to building this. So that's kind of like what this 10 million Satoshis project is about. I use the Lightning Network, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So stay tuned for more updates on that in the future. Anyway, this is J Talks Crypto, and I'm signing off. This should I do for intros for y'all? You guys don't appreciate me enough. I'm gonna have to pick up all this mess later. Thanks, guys. ¿Y quién te mandó, verdad?